Okay, so hopefully you tried to set up part B at least. If you didn't, that's okay. Here's how we would do it. So same information to start with. Joe has $10,000 saving for college from his grandparents, and they put it into a compounded continuously account. So like the account gets interest continuously, which means we need to use the Pert formula because it's continuous. In order to use the Pert formula, we have to establish as many of these things as we can. The new amount that we're interested in, what we started with, the rate as a percentage, and the time. We need 3 out of the 4. There's only one thing that we can be missing at a time. So part B says, use the same formula to determine what interest rate. Okay, so what interest rate means R is what we don't know. What they would need to get from the bank to double their money in 10 years. So let's start like we did previously. A, P, R, T. P is still 10,000. They still started with $10,000. And again, they also still want to double their money. So they want $20,000 for their grandson. Now, the interest rate, that's what we don't know. The interest rate is what we don't know. But we do know that time is 10 years. Time is 10. So let's fill in the Pert formula with the things that we know. A is 20,000. P is 10,000. E will always be E because it's about 2-ish. R we don't know. And T is 10. So from here, what we're going to do is divide by 10,000. Chunga chunga, E to the R times 10 power is equal to 2. And again, to chunga chunga or cancel out that E and get the R out of the exponent, we need a natural log both sides. Those chunga chunga, we have natural log of 2 equals R times 10. Well, a variable times a number means we need to divide by a number. Chunga chunga. So R equals whatever the natural log of 2 divided by 10 is. Natural log of 2 divided by 10. 0.07 or 0.069. That means they would need about 6.9% interest. This kind of seems reasonable. Hopefully you would agree that it seems reasonable, because if we look to the original problem says for him to double the money at 6%, it took 11 and a half years. So at 6% interest, to double it took 11 and a half years. Well, now the grandparents want it to be doubled in 10 years. 10 years is pretty close to 11. Like, that's not very much difference. So if they want it faster, that means they need a little bit higher of an interest rate. They're not being crazy. They don't want it in 2 years. They just want it about a year and a half sooner. So it makes sense that 6.9% is what their new interest rate would be. Something a little bit higher to get that money a little bit faster. Like I said, we're going to skip this one. If you want to try it, great. I can check over it for you. But now you guys have an assignment, 5.6.2, numbers 1 through 10. There's a couple word problems I want you to try.